Yo, what's going on, everybody? Coach John over here. Oh my God, I sound terrible. I'm just waking up in the morning. Yeah, here's the video. Listen, so I woke up and I said, I want to squat 500 pounds. So this is the video that's about to detail my plan to hit 500 pounds on squat. Now, first of all, how did I come up with this? Well, we need a little more energy because my throat is jacked up. Let's get it started. I'm looking at my refrigerator right now. We're gonna start the morning right with a Celsius. I love coffee too, but let's just have a little Celsius just cause my father-in-law is about to come into town. Matter of fact, I want to get away from the refrigerator because that fucking noise. Let's switch up the angle. Cheap Chinese shit. Anyways, okay, here we go. So here's my plan to get 500 pounds on squat. Now, for you guys who don't know, I'm a certified personal trainer. Been you know, in the mix for like 5 years, all this stuff. Backgrounds in kickboxing, Muay Thai, all that. But I just want to get stronger, right? So I woke up, I said, yo, let's fucking do this. I'm 2 days into my training plan, and let me break it down for you. So my current max on squat, 1 rep max, is 420. Okay, I did that on 1 brunch meal and 3 mimosas. Dead ass. The first time I hit 405, I planned to hit that shit, you know. The second time that I did 415 for actually 2 reps and then 420 for 1 rep, it was fucking kind of just random how I hit it. So I'm gonna actually strategize and have a training plan where I'm gonna hit 500 pounds on squat. The reason why I want to focus on squat is because legs are my strength. You know, my bench is, I think it's okay. Like, I mean, I never hit 315, but that's something I want to do, you know, in the future. I've only done 305. And my deadlift, like, I don't even really try on deadlift. I've hit in 435 for 1 on deadlift. But squat is definitely like my God-given talent, even though there's people way stronger than me, all this stuff, right? So I'm actually gonna create a program, or I did, that's surrounded around that. So I'm gonna break it down for you, okay? If you guys are really trying to blow your squat up, first of all, number 1, you have to prioritize the squat. Like, there's so many people that talk to me and they'll be like, John, I wanna, you know, get big legs like you, or I wanna get my squat up. What do I need to do? Well, first of all, you only have 1 leg day a week. Stupid. Have you thought about having 3 leg days in a week? And to them, that's such a preposterous idea. Like, oh my God, I would never do that. Well, you're not gonna grow. And even 2, what are you doing on those leg days? Are you doing other things that might power up your legs? Like when I hit 420 on squat without trying, I was actually riding my bike everywhere, which is another way to hit legs. You know what I mean? I was doing some, who's fucking messaging me on Indeed? I don't even know what that is. Okay, so anyways, my first phase, because, you know, I have 3 phases for a 12-week program to hit 500 pounds on squat, and then we'll see if it happens. I'm pretty faithful that it will, because yesterday I was just, you know, hitting my working weight of 365 on squat, 5x5. I felt fucking phenomenal. I felt great. And I was like, yo, this is only day 2. I'm about to get this bitch. So day 1, okay, let's break it down. Very simple. Day 1 is your strength focused day. You have to have different days. You know, I'll describe day 2 speed and technique, and day 3 is essentially like lower body accessory unilateral work. Okay, that's how I broke it down, so I could work on, you know, different, how do I say this? It's kind of like why am I forgetting the word? Like undulated periodization, right? Because you're not just doing the same thing every day. We're picking different things to focus on. So for my heavy squat day, it's your typical 5x5, 75 to 80% of the 1 rep max. That's like, you know, my first movement. Then my second movement is going to be a pause squat. It's a pause squat. You know, you go down 1, 2, 3, and then get out of that bottom, right? The reason why you want to have those iso pause squats is because when that weight really gets heavy, you could get stuck at the bottom, and if you don't have the momentum, then what the fuck are you gonna do? So that's 3x3, 65 to 70% of my 1 rep max. Then I have Romanian deadlifts, right? You could do 3x10 or 8 if you try to push the weight up. Not too strict on what that weight is, but for instance, me, since I don't really deadlift a lot, I don't do a lot of Romanian deadlifts. The reason why I you know, am not a fan of doing so much deadlifts is because, you know, I got to work on it, but I went to the chiropractor. I had a fucking x-ray on my spine, and my L5 and my S1 is supposed to be the biggest amount of space that you have in your spinal column. My fucking ass was like this, bro. I had no space, so it made sense why when I do deadlifts, it just feels kind of like, fuck, this feels like a lot, you know? So I always go light on the deadlifts. Like, for instance, when I was doing the Romanian deadlifts yesterday, I was only doing 185, which to me, I'm like, bro, you squat way more. Why are you doing 185? So whatever. You got to put the ego to the side. Bulgarian split squats, 3x10 each leg. And that's good because here's the thing, right? For me, when I was doing my split squats, it just exposes like that my left knee is less stable than my right knee. So I need to work on that, because when you're squatting, you know, regular stance with both your legs, your dominant leg is going to take over, as always, right? Just like the dominant person in a group is going to take over. And then I finished off with core work, which is hanging leg raises. And we're not talking about picking up the knees right here, toes all the way to the bar for that strong core, because you need a strong core when you squat. And that was fucking hard for me. Not gonna lie, I did not hit 3x12 there. Like the first set, I did 8 reps and I had to take a rest, and then I did another 4. Second set, I only did 8 reps, and then the last set, I struggled to even hit 8. So very challenging, you know, to hold my big ass. I'm 203 pounds, hold my big ass from the bar. So that's that. Day 2, this is what you're gonna do if you're following my plan. And again, I want to document a lot of these videos, guys, because I'm gonna hit fucking 500 pounds, and I want you to see the journey to do that. Because I'm not a fitness influencer, I'm not none of these, you know, I'm a regular person, and I want to show you guys how to do this. Day 2 is box squats, 8x3. Now you might be like, I never did an 8x3. 8x3, 8 sets by 3 reps, 60 to 65% of your 1 rep max. So it's much lighter, but you're performing them explosively, right? So if I'm doing it here, I'm going down and I'm fucking boom, I'm firing up out of the fucking box, bro, because you want those legs to be dynamite, right? You want to think about, like, you know, from the fighting background, if I'm throwing kicks, like I want my kicks to fucking fly fast as fuck, so I want to knock you out. So 8x3, 8 sets, 3 reps, okay? Oh, now, sorry, I didn't even describe timing or nothing like that. For a lot of this, since we're working on strength, explosiveness, you know, for my heavy squats, I'm resting 3 to 4, maybe 5 minutes, but 3 to 4 minutes. For my speed work, I'm gonna be resting about 2 minutes. And then we're following that up with front squat because it's a lighter load, so I don't need too much of a rest, but I also, you know, have to account for that explosive energy that I'm outputting. Front squat, here we go. After that, we got a 3x5, 3 sets of 5 reps, 65 to 70% of the 1 rep max. You have to work that front squat position, even though this whole program, when I said 500 pounds, I didn't say I was focusing on back squat, but I'm doing back squat. And I would highly recommend low bar squatting, because for years I did high bar, and sure, it feels good, or not feels good, but a lot of people might do that, and maybe if you're not keen to like these powerlifting techniques, the low bar, you're gonna get much more you know, weight out of it in terms of what you can move. So definitely do low bar. But I'm not gonna lie, like when I do the lighter loads, I mix in a little bit of high bar just to give my body that variation. Because again, when you have high bar, it's easier to get low. Even though like when people see me low bar squat, they're like, damn, you still get pretty low on the ground. Because my hips and, you know, that's just, I got the mobility since I was a kid. And doing kickboxing and all that stuff, I'm very flexible, I'm very mobile. So yeah, then we go to step ups, weighted, 3 by 12. This is where you want to grab those 40-pound and heavier fucking dumbbells and just take that big step on that box. Hamstring curls, 3 by 12. And I'm not gonna lie too, right? All of this is speed. All of this speed, go, right? You want to be quick, but if for instance, because I did this the other day, let's say I'm doing the hamstring curls. Fuck 3 sets. I might just break the program and just start going ham on hamstring curls if they feel amazing. I'm just gonna fucking curl the fuck out of them, right? Because that's one way that my legs blew up. Like some of my friends would work out with me and they'd be like, yo John, like we just did like 200 reps on leg extension. Yeah, why not? Why not? And you wonder why you got these little fucking chicken legs. Then we're following that up with a plank variation. So that could be a moving plank, that could be just a regular plank, that could be a rocking plank. And fuck, even if you want like shoulder taps into a plank, right? Switch it up. Because again, you always have to have that core work, because your core works when you're hitting squats. Like, especially, I remember, dude, when I was in college, like when I was first going for like 315 and above, my core, I was neglecting it, and my fucking body was caving in. I didn't know how to, my legs could handle the weight, but my core and back couldn't hold that shit up. So those, and then day 3 for lower body, because these are all lower body days. We haven't even talked about upper body. Sled push or belt squats, 3 by 20 yards or 3 by 40 yards, depending on how you feel. I'll do 40 yards, all right? Bare minimum of 20 yards, 40 yards. Sled pushes, because you already know Coach John did Hyrox, right? So Hyrox is still in the mix, even though I'm lifting heavy, right? Some people want to neglect lifting. Fuck it. I want to be one of those people that could squat 500 pounds and run a half marathon, you know, run a marathon. That's what I want to do. That's what I like, because I saw some people online doing that and I said, wow, that's fucking dope, dude. I want to do that shit. Again, Bulgarian split squats, 3 by 10. Then I'm gonna fast forward this. Follow up with the glute hamstring raises, 3 by 8. Calf raises, 3 by 15. And then reverse hypers, 3 by 12, because you have to make sure that that posterior chain is intact and it's ready to go. Now, I'm not gonna go into phase 2 and all that. I'm just gonna cover phase 1, because that's where I'm at right now. I'm only 2 days into my training program. I also came up with 2 upper body days, and basically like one upper body day is bench focus, the other upper body day is deadlift, barbell, row focus. Now yesterday I threw in some back just for shits and giggles after my legs, because I felt fucking great. So I just did lat pull down. That's it. You know, lat pull down, a little bit of cable rows, just to, you know, hit a little bit of back, because the thing is, as you heard just in that training plan, I have 3 days of lower body and technically just 2 days of upper body. And my 2 days of upper body, like, think about this, like I'm kind of only benching once a week. I'm doing deadlift variations even in legs, so, but traditional conventional deadlift is only 1 day a week. Now, in order to compensate for this, if I feel like I have the energy to do it, I will try to throw in a little bit of bench in those other workouts I mentioned, just so I don't lose so much here, right? But you have to realize, if you're trying to attain a goal, you have to focus on that goal. And the goal is to squat 500 pounds. What the fuck is benching gonna do for me getting to 500 pounds? right? So a lot of you guys, you know, and I'm not saying I know everything and whatnot, but that's the mindset behind this training plan, is that I have to prioritize squat. If I always relate this to martial arts, because again, that's my background, that's what I grew up with. If I'm an MMA fighter and they told me that I was getting triangle choke every fucking fight and I need to work on it, why would I be boxing? Why would I be performing all these kickboxing workouts if I'm good in that area? Now, I have to still maintain, but I have to put more of my time in jiu-jitsu, right? And grappling, so that I could be better and not get, and then put myself in the position of someone's gonna get me in a triangle choke and I have to escape it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you wanna get a 500-pound squat, you have to squat more. You have to hit more legs. That's it. And then in the training program, you have to have rest and recovery. So of course, I'm having my workouts in a certain way. Is there an infant back there? You know, you have to prioritize, you know, a great training plan programs rest in there. You know, so you have to know when to rest. You have to know when to go. You have to know when to chill. You have to know when, hey, it's telling me I need to squat, you know, whatever, 335 today. I could do 365. I could do 385. Do it. Don't, you know, oh, the program tells me this. What the fuck do you feel like? You know, like, stick to the program, but don't be afraid to deviate a little bit, but don't deviate too much, right? That's my mindset. If I feel like I can squat more, I'm gonna fucking squat more. But again, I'm not gonna do that, let's say, like on a power day, and then take away the component of moving quickly through the movement. Because when you're working on your explosive power, you gotta be quick through those movements, right? It's not like more slow, controlled type shit. So that's the video, right? Stay tuned, because that's the goal. We're gonna, in 12 weeks, hopefully, 500 pounds on fucking squat. Why am I doing this? Why not? You know, there's certain numbers I wanna hit before I get old. And 500 pounds, like, just to tell someone, like, yo, look at this, 500 pounds on squat. You like that? That's a good video. Coach John 310, hit me up for training. If you want this training plan, message me. Online coaching, in-person coaching, Long Beach. You know what I'm saying? We're out. Peace.